brushing teeth, cleaning up, getting dressed. 3 of the most ordinary moments of the day. And somehow, every single day, at least one of them turns into a full emotional explosion. You stay calm. They escalate. You repeat yourself. They cry harder. You hold firm. They melt down. And eventually, after what feels like forever, your brain makes a very quiet calculation. Is this really worth it? And you say, fine. Forget it. And for 10 seconds, there's relief. The screaming stops. You can finally breathe. But the moment that tension drops, a heavy wave of guilt hits you. Am I being too weak? Am I raising a spoiled kid? Here is what nobody tells you. You are not weak, and your child is not trying to destroy your sanity. What actually happened is that 2 exhausted nervous systems just triggered an invisible rule. And that's exactly what we're going to look at today. Because here is the biggest secret of these battles. When you finally give in and say, fine, skip it, you aren't doing it because you lack discipline. You're doing it because your biology is screaming for peace. If you watched my last video, you remember the golden rule of behavior. Behaviors that get us something grow. But there is a second half to that rule, and it is the exact reason why this loop feels so impossible to break. Behaviors that get us out of something also grow. Or in human terms, the brain repeats whatever makes discomfort end. Think about it. When a task feels boring, too hard, or just not worth the effort, and 20 minutes of crying makes the task disappear, your child's nervous system locks one thing. Big reactions, buy my freedom. But here is the invisible chain most parents never get shown. The louder the child gets, the more pressure you feel. The more pressure you feel, the more your own nervous system just wants the overwhelming stress to stop. So you give in, and the second that relief hits, both brains learn something. You learn, finally, it stopped. I can breathe. But your child's brain learns, escalation, change the rules. Now, let me step back for a second. In my practice with families, I hear the exact same worry every single week. Am I raising a manipulative kid? If that thought has crossed your mind, I need you to take a deep breath. Your child is not staging a rebellion, your child's brain isn't broken, and yours isn't either. What I see in these moments isn't a battlefield or a power struggle. It's just 2 separate, exhausted nervous systems caught in an automatic loop. Your child's brain is simply doing what any primitive brain does when it feels overwhelmed. It looks for an exit. And your brain is doing the exact same thing to survive the stress. There is no villain here. This is just biology repeating a pattern that worked last time. It's trying to turn the pressure down. That is why these cycles grow so fast. And it's also why a super firm no, do it now, can sometimes make the whole thing explode even faster for certain kids. There's another layer happening underneath that response that actually backfires when kids are trying to avoid a task, and we'll unpack that fully in a future video. But first, let's learn how to interrupt the loop. Picture this, it played out in your house today. Twice. Let's run the tape. It is bedtime. You say,
time to brush teeth.
No.
Hey, buddy, come on.
I said no!
We are doing this.
No!
They crumble, crying, hiding, full floor melt. And here's what nobody tells you. Your nervous system is in it too. You're wiped. It's 8:47 p.m. Dishes are still in the sink. Lunches aren't packed. Laundry's judging you from the couch. You've got nothing left. So your brain starts asking the exact same question your child's brain is asking. How do I make this stop? After 20 exhausting minutes, you finally say,
fine. We'll skip it tonight.
The crying stops, the tension drops, you exhale. And let's be entirely honest here, that instant relief feels incredible. It's the only reason you can survive the rest of the night. That does not make you weak. It does not make you a bad parent. It makes you human. But while you are catching your breath, your child's brain is taking notes. It's filing away a new rule. When I get beat, the hard thing goes away. And every time that rule gets confirmed, it gets carved in a little deeper. So, if your child isn't bad, manipulative, or trying to ruin bedtime, then what's really going on? Here's how I want you to think about it. When your child screams, "I don't want to brush my teeth," their mouth is saying one thing, but under all that noise, their nervous system is scanning for another. What's it gonna take to get out of this? Is this rule real, or does it crack if I scream loud enough? That's the real question underneath the meltdown. And every single time we let the hard thing disappear after the big reaction, we answer that question in a way we didn't intend to. Not, you can handle hard things, but hard things go away if you get big enough. And here's why that matters beyond brushing teeth. Because the skill we actually want to teach, the ability to move through frustration, discomfort, and hard moments, isn't something we explain. It's something we practice, accidentally or on purpose, every single night. So, what do we actually do differently? Don't let avoidance make the hard thing disappear. But, and this part is just as important, that does not mean more force, more pressure, more yelling. The task stays, the support changes. Instead of repeating yourself or giving a long lecture that just makes their brain and yours even louder, you do this, you change the setup. You offer what I call controlled choices. That means they get control over how it happens. But if it happens is not up for debate. So instead of, "Fine, forget brushing," or yell, "I said do it now," the response becomes short, steady, and actionable. Because sometimes parents accidentally believe the only two options are force harder or give up. But there's a third option that most exhausted parents have never been shown. Stay steady and change the support. Let's rerun bedtime. Same child, same exhaustion, same toothbrush, same no, same crying, same resistance, same part of your brain whispering, "Please, I cannot do this tonight." Old version after the battle. "Fine, skip it." Relief for about 10 seconds. And tomorrow, the brain remembers. "Yelling helped me escape." Now rerun the tape. Same protest, same tears, same resistance. But this time you kneel down, you stay calm. And instead of giving in or
Okay,
yelling, you change the
let's do
support.
this. Do you want to start, or do you want me to help? Just the front teeth first? Or do you want to stomp to the bathroom together?
And what about that other moment? The toys scattered all over the living room floor earlier that afternoon. Rerun the tape there too. Same floor melt, same "you do it." But instead of picking them up yourself to end the whining, you change the support. It's time to clean up. Do you want to pick up the dolls first or the cars? Your choice. Notice what changed in both rooms and what didn't. The expectation didn't change. What changed was the support. And I want to be honest with you here. This does not mean your child suddenly says, "Wow, thank you for this emotional growth opportunity." They may still cry, still protest, still be upset. That's okay. The goal is not
You pick.
immediate compliance. The goal is teaching the brain hard things still happen, and I can get through them with support. Over time, that changes everything. None of this means you'll do it perfectly every single time. Sometimes you'll skip the brushing, sometimes you'll be exhausted, sometimes you'll accidentally snap. Just brush your teeth, you're human. I've seen this in hundreds of families, and if I'm being real, I've lived versions of this too. This is not about guilt. It's about finally seeing the lesson hidden under the meltdown. Because once you understand what the brain is learning in these moments, you stop taking the resistance so personally. And something shifts. You stop thinking, "Why are they making my life so hard?" And you start seeing, "Oh, they're learning how to deal with hard things, not with more force, not by giving up, but with more clarity, more steadiness, more support." Because the goal was never winning a battle over a toothbrush. The goal is helping your child learn hard things don't disappear and they don't face them alone. If what you just saw made something click, thank you for being here. Because there is one more trap, and it's sneaky. Today we talked about tantrums to escape stuff like brushing teeth, but what about the tantrum that hits the second you open your laptop or pick up your phone? That's not escape, that's about attention. And if you use today's tools on an attention tantrum, it backfires fast. Next video, I'll show you how to spot the difference and what to do instead. No guilt, Just tools. If you don't want to miss it, you know what to do. I'll see you there.